Tale of the tape for Roy Jones against Joe Calzaghe. You see the 3-year age advantage for Calzaghe. A height advantage of 1 inch for the Welsh fighter, who is a southpaw. They're equal in arm length. Measured from the armpit to the end of the fist, both weighed in a ½ pound under the 175-pound weight limit. It's the heaviest of Calzaghe's career. They both appear to be in spectacular shape. Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Joe Calzaghe Roy Jones fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the unified rules of the Association of Boxing Commissions. There is no 3 knockdown rule. The doctor or the referee can stop the fight. In case of caused by an accidental headbutt, we go to the scorecards after 4 rounds have been completed, and you cannot be saved by the bell on any round, including the 12th and final round. Jim.
Jones will walk first to the ring. Emmanuel Stewart faced with the challenge of fighting against someone who will fight at a decidedly and visibly faster pace. Jones says his plan is to try to shock Calzaghe in flurries with his speed and power. He hasn't knocked anybody out in 6.5 years. How much chance that we can see the Jones of 7 or 8 years ago instead of the fighter we've seen more recently?
I don't think you're going to see the Jones. You see some glimpses of it. He still has a lot of his skills, but I don't think that he can punch in the flurries and actually out-flurry Calzaghe, okay? He's fighting the fighter with the fastest hands that he's ever faced in his career. And it's going to make it, he's going to have to fight a totally different fight, a very intelligent, selective fight, like most older fighters do. The one thing that has not changed throughout the years is his confidence in himself and his ego. And I think that's one of the biggest things that he has going for him, in addition to his talent.
Some of the bigger wins on Jones's dossier, and the noteworthy 3 losses in a row, 2 of them by knockout to Tarver and Glenn Johnson. Jones asked for this fight, lobbied for it, ultimately made the deal by text message personally with Joe Calzaghe. Max Kellerman, Calzaghe fights for the chance to exit his career unbeaten, having said that if he wins tonight, he will retire. What would that mean to him and the sport?
He'd be the only one to retire undefeated, untied, who we do not expect to come back since Marciano. Could he actually remain retired? I think this fight there echoes here, Jim, of Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson. Roy Jones was so spectacular in his prime, as Tyson was, no one truly ever believes it's over for him. Joe Calzaghe, like Lennox Lewis, is trying to establish himself as the best of his era. To do it, he wants Roy Jones' name on his ledger, just like Lennox wanted Tyson's.
And just to qualify what Max said about those fighters who have left the ring unbeaten and stayed away, at this moment, Floyd Mayweather is among the fighters who have left the ring unbeaten and who is retired right now. Many ringside experts still speculate and believe that at some point, Mayweather will choose a piece of business for which to come back. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the pre-fight introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the ring at this time, please welcome, presenting the colors, the United States Color Guard team. And now, for 2 national anthems. First, here to sing the national anthem of Wales. From Llanelli, Wales, please welcome Mary Morgan.
Sant ai gwaed. Blood, blood, ai Joe.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the national anthem of the United States of America. Here to be sung by New York's own Michelle Cleary.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Mecca of boxing, Madison Square Garden, New York City, USA, Square Ring Promotions and Calzaghe Promotions, in association with Madison Square Garden, are proud to present the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the light heavyweight championship of the world, recognized by the Bible of Boxing, Ring Magazine, sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission Chairperson Melvina Lathan, and sponsored by Affliction. At ringside, the 3 judges scoring this contest, should it go the distance: Julie Letterman, Terry O'Connor, and Jerry Roth. And inside the ring, the man in charge of the action at the bell, referee Hubert Earl. And now, from Madison Square Garden, New York City, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black with orange, official weight 174 1/2 pounds. This Olympic silver medalist has a professional record of 52 victories, including 38 knockouts with 4 defeats, and he has captured 8 world championship belts. From Pensacola, Florida, a future Hall of Famer, the former middleweight world champion, former super middleweight world champion, former light heavyweight world champion, and former heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr. And fighting out of the blue corner, he's wearing blue with white, official weight 174 1/2 pounds, a perfect professional record consisting of 45 bouts, 45 victories, including 32 knockouts, and he has been a world champion for more than a decade. Introducing the future Hall of Fame fighting pride of Newbridge, Wales, former undisputed super middleweight world champion and reigning, defending, undefeated light heavyweight champion of the world, Joe Calzaghe.
Just one. Okay, gentlemen, we went over the rules of the dressing room. Obey my commands at all times and protect yourself at all times. Touch him up, the bell rings, come out fighting.
When Roy Jones Jr. was in his prime, he was so good, we didn't know if he was great. Could he overcome adversity? Could he beat the odds? The odds are against him tonight.
Back up. Okay, gentlemen.
Rarely have two fighters more visibly projected confidence before the opening bell. And immediately Calzaghe chases Jones to the ropes, missing with a sweeping left hand. One problem for Jones in the fight, how to find ways to deal with the greater frequency of Calzaghe's punches. He says he can do it with power.
Well, I think Jones's attitude is right in the fight. You know, the thing is both guys have fast hands, and I think Jones has a little bit more crack in his shot than Calzaghe. And at this stage right now, Calzaghe is fighting the fight that he wants to fight, and Jones is fighting the fight that he wants to fight. Jones is basically going to try to make Calzaghe burn himself out by throwing a lot of punches and then explode with his own combinations on a counter move.
Jones has always had devastating power. The reason he hasn't scored even more knockouts is because he thinks safety first oftentimes. Doesn't want to expose himself to danger.
Right, with Trinidad hurt it quite a few occasions, but he would back off because you know if he threw a few more punches, he would be taking the risk of getting hit himself.
38 knockouts